Welcome to the Old Hobo channel. This video is the first in a series based on our 2025 trip from Buffalo through to Montreal on our 1971 Hobo houseboat, which we restored a few years ago. It's called the ERIE Hobo. How did we select this trip from Buffalo to Montreal? I started thinking about the ERIE Canal. It was on my bucket list. And I thought, well, hey, I'd like to go from west to east. And so I started to research it. The question was, would we just start, say, in Tonawanda and head to Waterton and double back? Maybe seeing some of the side canals like the Oswego Canal, the Cayuga-Seneca canal system, and down into the lakes there. Would we do that? Or perhaps we would just go east, go all the way west, take a train back, and I would retrieve the truck and the trailer. But it was enticing when I saw that, hey, we go that far east. What else could we do? Well, we're at the Hudson River at the end of the Erie Canal, and that is the purpose of the Erie Canal, was to connect the Great Lakes, Lake Erie, to the Hudson River, and we could proceed down to New York. I looked at that and I said, that's a little... I need some more research for that. We get into some tidal waters. The tides are significant and the reversing currents, and we have some experience with that on the St. Johns River in 2024 in Florida. The other thing is it's a little more urban in some areas. They don't have quite the same creek system. We like to anchor in shallow, isolated waters. There aren't as many opportunities. It would take quite a bit of planning, and there can be traffic, especially when you get closer to New York and New Jersey. So that was probably off the table. But what if, after doing the Erie Canal, we headed north on the Hudson River, and the Hudson River then ties into a canal going to Lake Champlain, and there is the Champlain Canal and Lock system. And we could go up into Lake Champlain. Lake Champlain is big. Is it scary? Well, we would have, the prevailing winds behind us. Should be okay. I thought, well, let's look at the time. We could make it up to within 3.5 weeks. We get to Plattsburgh, which is about one of the most northerly places you can go on Lake Champlain and still remain in America. And there's a good bus and train connection back to retrieve the truck and the trailer. On the other hand, wouldn't it be neat if we just expanded the scope of the trip just a little bit, and maybe we took a full month, maybe 4.5 weeks? What could we do? We could head north on the Richelieu River through the Chambly Canal in Quebec, join the St. Lawrence River, which we're familiar with from last year, and head up the river to Montreal. Wouldn't that be a fantastic trip? The planned date to depart was June 3rd of 2025. We didn't end up leaving until about the third week, the end of the third week of June, because the Erie Canal itself did not fully open. There had been a lot of water in the state of New York, a lot of rain and high water, and that brings damaging floods, damaging water levels. Some structures were threatened, such as a dam at one point, and there's a lot of debris in the water after those sort of events as well. So I took advantage of the New York Canal's notice to mariners notifications, and that was very useful to find out just what the status was. We trailered our boat about 4 hours to the Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls, Canada, going across to Niagara Falls, New York. We cleared customs. This is in Buffalo. It's the Black Rock Lock. Say that 3 times quickly. Black Rock Lock. And we are right here at Rich Marine Sales. The truck is right there with the trailer. Thank you, Mark. And this is the Niagara River. We're going to be heading that way. Currently, we're about half a mile to boat ramp that way. The wife is watching the boat. Let's go join her, and we'll head further north to Tonawanda and get on the Erie Canal. At that point, we were off on our voyage down the Niagara River with a significant current behind us, assisting us. And heading off, we weren't going to go as far as Niagara, the falls themselves. We stopped well before that and entered the Tonawanda River, the Tonawanda Gateway Harbor. Our first night would be spent here. Unity Island here. Erie Canal starts up ahead on the right. Okay, we've throttled back. This is would be a no wake zone, and once we're into the Erie Canal, the speed limit is 5 miles an hour. So we're going to round this bend to the right. Janet's commanding the Erie Hobo. And here we go. Here's the Tonawanda Gateway Harbor to the Erie Canal. There we are here. And this little creek, Tonawanda Creek, I think it goes up there, Erie Canal that way. There is the harbor master is here, and the downtown. That's the way we came in. We tied the Erie Hobo up to the south wall here in Tonawanda for the night. Right in front of us was the Owasco, and it is a Lockmaster boat of relatively recent manufacture, built on the Erie Canal for the Erie Canal, as inspired by European narrowboats. It's a little fatter and wider. This one, I forget the length, if it's 38 foot, 41 foot, but that's how you classify it, I believe, as say a Lockmaster 38 or Lockmaster 41. This one's privately owned. Most of the, I'm not sure, I think he said 40 or so that exist or were built. Most of them are in commercial operation, and we see them later on in the trip, of course. Very few are in private hands. The harbor was not too busy, and we arrived there mid-afternoon or so. We didn't do much here in the town other than go for a stroll. We looked at some of the history. We'll give more of the history of the Erie Canal in later episodes. It was a total of 365 miles. Subsequent iterations of the canal reduced that to present day 342 miles, and it is much longer. It's shorter, but it can accommodate longer, wider, deeper shipping. The governor at the time, DeWitt Clinton, was one of the major champions to get it through, and it was funded completely by New York State and private investors. And it paid itself back in 10 years, and that funded subsequent revisions to the canal. Transport time for material and for people was reduced from months, or rather weeks, well, months in some cases, weeks to days. Tonawanda benefited. It was, well, they considered the other end the gateway to the west. So if you were at the Hudson River, the canal was the gateway to the west, and the terminus of that was Tonawanda on Lake Erie. It benefited greatly from all the industry, all the shipping. There were tons and tons, 6 miles of docks accommodating lumber that was floated in from the Great Lakes, and this was sawn and shipped east for the development of the growing Americas. There were other industries. The train came in 1836, and eventually by the end of the 19th century, they would have 80 to 100 trains passing through per day in Tonawanda. Tonawanda had many industries throughout the years. Remington typewriter, that's one of the later ones, but they had steel refineries. They had a silk mill, many other businesses, a chocolate business, all sorts of businesses. It's not quite the boomtown right now. Tourism is part of the deal, and the Gateway Harbor is the place to start or end your big Erie Canal adventure. Keep a lookout on the old Hobo channel for a release of episode 2 of our 31-day, 699-mile cruise from Buffalo to Montreal through the Erie Canal, Champlain Canal, Lake Champlain, Richelieu River through Quebec, St. Lawrence to Montreal. Thanks for listening.